Hi, everyone. Welcome. Come on over to Insight Timer. There we go. Hi, everyone. Are we here? Are we live and functioning? All right. Thank you, Yuna. Welcome, everyone. Let's see here. I'll turn this quality up. Okay. I just changed our sound input, so you should be able to hear me nice and clearly. Hey, Cindy. Okay, great. Great. We'll wait just a few more moments and then we will begin. Again, if you are not on Insight Timer, I invite you to come over to Insight Timer to be part of our live experience, interactive experience together. Hi, everyone. Okay, just want to make sure that the sound. Oh, someone's saying, nice to see you live, but you're coming through as a guest. Nice to see you. I'm not sure who you are, but I'm glad you're here. Um, yeah, I just want to check on the sound, friends, because the incorrect mic was plugged in at first, or the settings were not correct. So I just want to make sure that you can hear me clearly without any background sounds. That's what we're looking for. Oh, hi, Jess. Hi, Jessica. Okay, great. Wonderful. That's what we're going for. So it shouldn't have a bunch of background sounds. Okay, great. So I will turn this off and we will officially begin today. Ah, okay. Go for it, Anami. Okay, great. Hmm. Hmm. Shall we take a breath together? Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale slowly. Inhale slowly, feel the belly and chest expanding. Exhale slowly. And if you have difficulty exhaling slowly, there's a great little exercise where you imagine that you have a straw between your lips, a small straw, and that when you exhale, imagine that you're exhaling through that small straw, and you'll find that it takes you longer to exhale because your mouth isn't so open. Why don't we all just try that together for the sake of experience? So let's take a deep breath in. Make a small little hole between your lips and exhale slowly until all of the air is out. And soften your belly. And we'll try that again. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. And you really exhale a lot longer here, so let your body relax. We'll do this one more time. Inhale. Very nice. How does that feel? Feel any different to really take your time exhaling like that? Jason, are you speaking about that plant? Yeah, that's one of my darling Dieffenbachias. It's actually quite tall as well. think it's probably a good, I don't know, 4 something feet tall, maybe even taller. Yeah. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For anyone that I'm meeting for the first time, my name is Selena Lael. If you are not on Insight Timer, I invite you to come over to Insight Timer. This is our third session in our Cultivating and Nourishing the Relationship with the Soul series. And it's okay if you haven't been here for the previous sessions. I do have both of them uploaded here, the audio portion on the app. So you're always welcome to go back and revisit those. And we will. Oh, awesome. Great to meet you, Monica. Thanks for being here with us. Yeah, friends, as always, please feel free to say hi. I love knowing that you're here. And if you're new, let me know you're here for the first time. It's always so sweet to get to connect for the first time and every time, right? Hi, everyone. We have a group here on the app called Love Heals All. It is open to everyone to just come be part of this loving community, this thoughtful, kind community, supportive community. And I also have mini recordings and lead lives each week. Marcy is sharing in response to the breathing exercise. I thought I was doing the out through the straw, but this helps so much. I struggle with the slow out breath. Okay, great. Great, great, great. Yeah. Oh, hi, Pat. Forgive me. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Is it Ma? Maybe you can phonetically spell it out for me. Is it Dutch? Maiki? Maiki? I'd love to know how to, like Mike. Mike. Just Mike? Ike? Or just Mike? Wonderful. Wonderful. Hi, Angela. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So, mm, I'm just loving being together today. I love being together every day, of course, that we're together. But today I'm just feeling juiced about our session today. So, and just juiced in general. I just added a session, a live session after the series completes. I think it's going to be toward the end of this month of August. And I think it's titled Aliveness, Inspiration, and Joy. And so we're going to be utilizing some techniques that I really love to just pull us up out of a funk or just to enliven joyfulness and aliveness in us even more. Welcome, Carrie. Oh, welcome. Hi, Jessica. Yes. The community is called Love Heals All, and it's here on the app. It's a group, it's in the section of groups. All the groups are free to join, and just a wonderful place to be together in community. Oh, awesome, Jason. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Peter Brooke. All right. I thought I was going to say something. I was going to say something. I invite you to have something to write with today, and ideally something that you can actually write with, meaning like pen, paper, pencil, and paper. If you have a journal, that's always great to have. But have something to write with, and of course, if you don't have access to anything like that, you can type. It's okay. But if you do have access to be able to write, we will be doing a little bit of writing today in this exploration of the relationship with the soul. All right, let's move into the centering technique. This is a fantastic ancient yogic technique, very simple, but very powerful to bring us into an experience of greater alignment and calm, or even you could say harmony within our own center. It's a great technique to do standing, but you're more than welcome to do it sitting. And if you can't move your body for some reason, you can always just visualize this. Studies have shown that when you visualize moving the body, it will actually send messages to the brain as if the body's actually moving. We start with the hands at the heart, sit nice and tall, Chin is slightly tucked here so the energy can move freely up and down the spine. And as we inhale, we're going to bring the hands apart. And as we exhale, we're going to bring them back together. So we inhale, reach one arm all the way up. The bottom hand comes down by the navel, but the fingers point up. And then exhale as slowly as you can. If you want, you can do the straw shape with your lips again to come all the way back to the heart. Inhale the other arm up. Opposite hand is by the navel, fingers point up, and see if you can straighten this top arm, open the chest. Exhale really slowly, like you're moving through honey, all the way back to the heart where the palms touch. Inhale that first arm up again. Bottom hand moves down, but fingers point up. Open the chest. Exhale really slowly, all the way back to the heart. Soften your lips and your face. Palms touch. Breathe. Lovely. Thank you. So this technique we can use any time of day, as many times as you like. I learned it one, two, three. You're of course welcome to go four times if three feels, like it's not giving you the completion that you need. And you're also welcome to do it more than three or four times in one sitting to just bring yourself back into this experience of greater alignment. Hmm. Cultivating a relationship with our most beloved soul. For anyone who yeah, Mo, it's all good. Do it 4 times if you want to. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. We all have our different experience within. Yeah, some of us need that even number. Yeah. For anyone who is here, who has been here for the last session or even the last 2 sessions, go ahead and share just a few words. We'll keep it really succinct. Please share in the chat if you wish anything that has been coming alive for you in your relationship with your soul since we began these sessions together. So it might just be a couple of words, literally, to describe, or maybe you'd like to write one sentence. But what has started to open up for you in your relationship with your soul? Or are you experiencing your soul in a different way, or maybe for the first time? Do you find yourself using any of these techniques of actually speaking to your soul, with your soul? Do you feel any more of a sense of softness in your heart, or contentment, or a feeling that you are not as alone as you might have felt like you were before? So go ahead and share in the chat. Angela's sharing here the idea of the soul being like rays of the sun, life changing. Okay, beautiful. We'll recap that today for those who weren't here. And maybe while we're waiting for any other chats to come in, I will just briefly recap that. So, whenever quite often, when we speak about these more profound spiritual teachings, we speak about things in a way that makes them sound separate, right? Like God is separate, angels are separate, soul is separate. We think about like, oh, I'm here in my soul, like as if it's something different or not who we are. And I find this is so that the intellectual mind can understand something that is not separate, but for the sake of not realizing it even exists, we need to speak about it separately. So many of us think about, well, what is soul? Is soul, something separate from me? Is soul something that is separate from God, but still part of God? What is that? And so we use this great imagery or idea of the sun. When you see a picture of a sun, maybe a sun that it's a circle, we'll say like a two-dimensional sun, yellow circle, and these rays of light coming out of it, right? We all know that kind of picture of a sun. When you see that ray of light, those different rays of light coming out of the circle of sun, you don't think about those rays of light as being something separate from the sun, right? You see those rays of light and you think, oh, that's the sun. That is sunlight. And so we can think about the soul in this same way. The Soul is like one of these rays of light coming from source, but it is not separate from source, right? Those rays of light are still part of the sun. The soul is still part of source, just having this experience of individuation, but always connected and always part of source. Great. Thanks, Angela. Okay, I don't see any other comments coming in. Sometimes that's a lag, and sometimes that's maybe because no one's sharing. So we'll just start to move on here. I also wanted to reshare this picture that I found. This nice, very loved, kind of beat up picture. Um, that it shows this beautiful um, depiction of how the soul is not just in the body, right? Many of us think of soul as being in the body, and then here's the body animated with soul. But it's actually that the body is in the soul. The soul is this magnificent sun of light or star of light. And so the physical body is held in this light. And I like this image to give us an idea of that. So you see the physical body is this person in a purple cape here. And then you have this light of the soul that is in and around the physical body. And as always, excuse my hair fiddling today, please just be here as you are with whatever you believe, with whatever you don't believe. I totally invite you to be here in this exploration. This is not about you having to believe the concepts or beliefs that I hold about soul or source or any of this. This is really about you and your exploration with yourself and what is soul for you? How does that feel for you? Anami is sharing, in the midst of the difficulties I've been experiencing, I've not yet felt a substantial shift. However, yesterday, I had a moment where I started speaking to the various layers of awakened parts of myself and ended that with, I trust that you, life, also love me and are on my side. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, sometimes it's just that mental shift. All right, this is really difficult. This is really painful. I feel really alone. What are all of the unconscious and conscious beliefs that I'm carrying about this moment in time? I'm alone. I don't have what I need. Life is pain. Life is difficult. This is never going to end. I can't see a solution here. We have these unconscious and conscious beliefs, and also these ways that we speak to ourselves that impact our ability to heal, to move forward, to embody the experience and learn what we need to learn from it. So just shifting the mindset like that is so beautiful. Okay, I'm in this experience of difficulty, and I'm going to speak to these parts of myself and speak to life and say, you know what, life, this is a real crappy moment, but I trust. What did you say? I trust that life loves me and is on my side, or that these parts of me love me and are on my side. Welcome. The topic today, we're in our third series of our cultivating and nourishing our relationship with the soul. And that's part of what we've been doing, right? Since the first session, we have been exploring communicating with the soul. Rather than just thinking about it as maybe some spiritual aspect of who we are or something separate or something pure and we're not, all these different beliefs we hold about it. We're speaking to the soul as if it's right here, right now, and always has been here and is ready to serve us, is always ready, just ready and waiting with open arms, with all of the love that we could ever imagine experiencing. So we speak to the soul, oh, my beloved soul. I need you. I'm really experiencing a lot of pain. Please fill me with your love. Fill me with your peace. Fill me with your comfort. Help me remember that I am loved. Help me remember that I'm going to be okay. Sweet, sweet soul, I want you in my life. I need you in my life. You are so precious to me. My life feels so empty without you. Start to have this relationship, this dialogue with your soul. Your soul is right here and hears and is ready, just ready to be with you, ready to serve you. But of course, in our human experience, we have free will. And that's a debatable topic these days, but we can just kind of sit with this consideration that as human beings, our guides are here, but it's really up to us to say, I welcome you in, because otherwise they're not allowed to interfere, is kind of one of the belief systems around this. So we welcome them. Even the work of the ancestors sometimes, right? Like they can leave us clues. Or as Saima, my beloved teacher says, Saima's gang, Saima's crew of celestial, intergalactic, ascended masters, beings, whomever they are, being there. But we need to welcome them in, because otherwise we're here to have all of the messiness of the human experience. Wonderful, Tatiana. Thank you. Yeah, I remember seeing your comment on that. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Marcy is sharing, I am in relentless pain for so long, it's hard to stay positive. I try for my family, friends, and my beloved rescue dog, Hope. Ah, thank you for being here with us, Marcy. And I invite you, just if it feels good to be here, just keep coming back. Just keep coming back. It's not about having all of the answers immediately. It's not about feeling an immediate shift or having some profound breakthrough. So often, the process of healing or coming to a more peaceful or accepting place with whatever is happening in our lives, it's that journey, right? It's that building of experience, of learning to trust ourselves, of learning to be there with ourselves through the difficulties. So I invite you, wholly, just as you are, with whatever pain is there, with whatever negative rumination is there, with whatever is happening, you are so welcome here. You don't have to try to be happy or positive or pretend like everything's okay. This is a space sacred for you to just be, just as you are. And this is, of course, for each and every one here. You don't have to pretend. It's okay to just be. And in my experience, that is part of the healing. And sometimes those of us with things like chronic pain, sometimes healing doesn't look like being pain-free. Sometimes healing looks like being able to feel free even when the pain is there. And that is a journey. It's all a journey. And on that, I'd like to share something here. I've been noticing in my experience, and I may have shared this last time, that when I start to feel uh, tense or contracted, or just some feeling of discord within me, when I start to feel that, there's an immediate resistance and rejection that arises within me. And I may not have been aware of that before, but because I have these tools, I can be aware of it now. Awareness is the first step to any transformation. If we are unaware of something, we are living unconsciously, we are maybe living on autopilot, and therefore we don't have the power to consciously shift it or change it. So, awareness is so key. It doesn't mean we have all the tools right away, but the awareness is the beginning. So, because of this developed awareness, I can notice, oh, wow, I'm feeling really uncomfortable. Maybe I will name it fear, or maybe I'll name it sadness, or maybe I'll name it just discomfort, miscellaneous discomfort, and, like inside. And there's this rejection of it. And I can feel that because I've been doing the work. So I've become aware, wow, I'm really rejecting this feeling of discomfort or these thoughts that are connected to feelings of discomfort. And it reminds me of a teaching that my beloved, precious mama shared with me growing up. My mom shared this teaching about focus. Little did I know that's really what the teaching was at the time, but it served me so deeply in my life. So you think about the sun. We're coming back to our wonderful sun analogy. You think about the sun, this magnificent sun of light, right? Beautiful colors of fire, right? This huge, magnificent sun. This is like our life, the grandeur of our life, or maybe the grandeur of who we truly are. We are this magnificent sun of light. But what happens when something painful or uncomfortable arises? What happens? Something painful or uncomfortable arises. And it doesn't feel like it in the moment, but in the whole scheme of our life or the whole scheme of who we are, that moment of discomfort or even chronic discomfort is like that. Can you see that little dot there? A little tiny dot. Maybe somebody said something that hurt your feelings. Boop, there's a dot. Maybe your body is hurting. Boop, there's the dot. Maybe you've been beating yourself up for something. Boop, there's the dot. You get what I'm going here, right? This dot is representing an experience, maybe a moment of pain or discomfort. So you can see in the whole picture, this experience of discomfort is very small, right? It's very small compared to who we really are or our whole life experience. But what happens? What happens when there's this dot of pain or this dot of discomfort? Can anyone remember this teaching or can anyone guess? Here's the grandeur of our whole life experience. Here's this one little dot. What do we do? Anyone remember? Yes, Michelle. Yes. Yes. Focus on it, concentrate on it. We become so focused mentally. We become so mentally focused on this dot that it's like we zoom into it. And instead of seeing the whole picture, we have this tunnel vision on this tiny little dot. We don't see the whole picture anymore. We are so hyper focused mentally on this experience of pain that we completely lose touch with the fullness of life. And the more we're in touch with the fullness of life, the more we're in touch with freedom, the more we're in touch with gratitude, the more we're in touch with joy. This is, I think, why so many plant medicines can be so powerful, among other reasons. And I'm not saying that I support or don't support them, but when we use that plant medicine or different things, many spiritual tools, I don't use plant medicines or anything like that anymore, but I do use my spiritual practices. And what they do is they expand me out from the dot. I'm like here, right? And these different tools expand the consciousness to see the bigger picture. And that thing that seemed so important or so painful, we all of a sudden see, oh, it's a little dot. It's still there. I still feel some pain. I still feel some discomfort, but it's just a little dot. And I know what I'm saying right now might seem kind of more conceptual. You're like, yeah, well, it doesn't feel like a dot, Selena. It feels like my whole world. And I get it. I'm not here to say that, oh, it's just a dot. Don't feel it. The feelings are very real in our experience. So it's not to say that we should just pretend like they're not there or try to push them away. We have different tools and techniques that we use to be able to navigate, to move through the uncomfortable feelings, to sit with ourselves. So, kind of coming full circle, I woke up and I was noticing this discomfort. And the mind is like, oh, dang, I'm losing my peace. I'm losing this sense of feeling deeply nourished with my soul. I have this practice every morning. I wake up and I start speaking to my soul and my I am presence and my quantum body. Then I just say things like, I love myself. Oh, no, I'm not feeling the connection. I'm saying all these things. I'm speaking to my soul. I'm welcoming my soul to embody me, but I don't feel it. I'm feeling pain. I'm feeling disconnected. Oh no, what do I do? It's the dot. It's the dot. You see where I'm going here? So, what do I do in that moment? What can I do? And you're welcome to share your ideas here. So, in that moment that I become aware that I'm focusing on the dot, I start to meet myself with kindness. I start to practice accepting the discomfort that is arising because that's what happens. The relationship with the soul is always here in this fullness of love, this fullness of grace, this fullness of beauty and freedom. It is always here. But when we get so focused on the dot, we don't feel that it's here. So to come out of that focus on the dot, I start to accept the dot. Oh, wow. Okay. This is super uncomfortable. I don't like the feeling, but I'm going to take some breaths. I'm going to let it be okay that I'm feeling this way. I'm going to take another breath and accept that it's natural to feel tension at times. Accept that it's natural to feel contraction at times. Accept that it's natural to feel sad or to feel whatever is coming up. Practice accepting that. And then for me, recognizing the story that if I feel this way, I'm somehow disconnected from my soul, to realize that story isn't true. My soul is still right here holding me, as me, breathing as me. Can I sit with the painful experiences and remember that I am always in soul as soul? So, this is food for thought, right? Me sharing these experiences is an invitation for you to say, how can I explore this in myself? When am I getting focused on the dot and forgetting that I'm held by life, that I'm loved eternally by my soul? How can I practice accepting the discomfort that is arising from the dot as the dot and let myself be just as I am? So, I want to come back and read some of your comments. Okay. Oh, awesome, Gary. What a treat. So wonderful. Glad you're here. So glad. That's beautiful. Yeah, I see many of your comments just sharing about, when we're in the dot. And I want to come back. I see Andy shared something. Unfortunately, I've been in pain for a year now, both mentally and physically. Whoops. Uh, for me, the one thing that brings me comfort from both is riding my motorcycle. Maybe it's an adrenaline release or other chemical, not sure. Yeah. And also, um, oftentimes, not always, but for many of us, when we get on a motorcycle, it becomes a mindfulness exercise. We become very present. It takes a certain sense of certain ability of hypervigilance on the motorcycle, right? It's not just like you're in a car and you can really be on autopilot. You're very present in a way that um, even if you really get on autopilot driving a motorcycle, there is still a certain level of presence that isn't necessarily there in the car. So I would also consider, or at least in my consideration of your share, Andy, I would also say it sounds to me like part of the freedom there is probably also just the joy, something that you enjoy. So it brings a sense of pleasure for your being, but it's also mindfulness. And which is also a wonderful idea because that means that if there are other things, other mindfulness techniques that you can use when you're not on your motorcycle, you might be able to experience greater relief even when you're not on the bike. So maybe this is kind of like an introduction to thinking about it like that. Like, okay, something happens when I'm on my bike where one, I anticipate it with joy or I enjoy it. And two, I become more present. I'm not caught in the looping. I'm not caught in all of whatever's happening mentally. So there's physical relief and there's mental relief. So, how can I use different tools throughout the day that serve me in that same way? Yeah, my love. And just also much, much compassion. That's this is, how do you say it? Like that's not how what I really want to say. That doesn't carry the energy of what I want to say. I love you. That's what I want to say. I love you. And you know, my door is always open, always. Energetically and also, well, not physically, my door is closed, but energetically and metaphorically. Yes, you can always reach out. Always, always, always. Okay. Um Coming back through your chats here, your comments. Um, Marcy's sharing, I had 5 surgeries and told another one possibly more, focusing on all other Eastern and Western modalities and pray stem cells work. Okay. Yeah. It's a lot, you know. We long so much for control to feel safe and to be free from pain, and it doesn't always work that way, right? Especially when it comes to the body. So I just really, again, just hold you in this space, Marcy, of compassion with where you're at. And if there's any way that we as a community or that I can empower you in your journey of everything that you're experiencing, I'm here for it all the way. Hi, Mama and Sib. Hi, Lulu and Sib. No worries. No worries. Glad you're here with us. Okay. All right. Making my way to the bottom finally. Jason sharing, I use 2 different tools to help me from focusing on the dot. One would take too long to explain, and the other is to get out of myself by helping someone else. Ah, that's excellent. That's excellent, Jason. Yes, by helping someone else. Absolutely. Absolutely. Emily is sharing, I've recently noticed how I have a belief that I'm not welcome and don't belong, grieving for the part of me that feels so separate. Any tips? Oh, yeah, sweetheart. Oh, I feel that. I feel that so much. Whew. And I know that experience in myself. I would invite if you haven't already, go listen to the inner child healing meditation that I have here on the app. Have you heard that one? Inner child healing in my catalog of audios here. Yeah. Maybe one day we'll do a workshop or a retreat on this. And also, if you haven't heard, okay, okay, good, love. Good, good. Um, and also sit with your soul in whatever way you can. You know, sometimes when we are introduced to these kind of teachings about developing a relationship with the soul, sometimes there are other things that we kind of need to work through before we can fully rest in that teaching or that experience or that embodiment. Sometimes we need to meet the parts of ourselves that are carrying this pain or that are carrying this kind of conditioning. And they can happen simultaneously. It's not like healing's not a linear path. It's not. Sometimes things happen all at the same time. Sometimes they happen out of order, right? It's not a linear path. So, how can we meet ourselves again and again, just where we are? Just where we are without having to change ourselves, because that's what we do, right? I know our soul session today is really actually, this is perfect though. We're speaking so much today about self love and acceptance and focus. And this is a big part of how we are able to, I would say, authentically really be with the soul. Because if the relationship with the soul becomes a positive vibes only kind of situation, I don't think it can really be embodied because we are not positive vibes only creatures. We have the full spectrum of feeling, and that is also part of the soul's journey. So why don't we take a journey with the soul's journey? I invite you to have your journal, pen or paper, or whatever it is that you're going to use today for writing. And we're going to go on a little journey. I invite you to get comfortable and close the eyes when you're ready. And I see some of you are sharing that you can relate to Emily's experience of not belonging. Um, Emily, what did you say? I said not belonging and not welcome. And if it is any kind of a mental or emotional relief, I just like to share that I felt that way much of my life. And the illusion of separateness will manifest in any way that it can. It's not some sinister thing. It's just an illusion, and it's the base illusion that we live with. In this experience of individuality, we think we are separate from Source, God. We think we are separate from Soul. We think we are the bad little tainted humanity, and the soul is, or the God or Allah is this, you know, pure thing, and we're the bad thing. No, no, no. This is old religious conditioning. It's We are not separate. We are the rays of the sun. There's the sun, and then there are the rays of light that come from the sun, and we are those rays of light having an experience of being separate. But all the while, we are still connected to Source, we are still in Source, or God, or however you choose to think of it, creation, creator. So the illusion of separateness shows up as much as it can because that is the base perception that many of us have. Some of us are born awakened in our consciousness so that we don't experience that, but most of us in the human experience, it's part of our journey to forget so that we can have the play of being human. So, the reason I'm bringing this up in the comment that Emily shared that so many are resonating with is because this is just another projection of this illusion. And it's not just a projection, we have a very real experience of it, but it's this experience of being separate again. There's this core seated belief that we are separate from God and we long to feel one with life. We long to feel the peace, the freedom, the love of just being one with God, one with our own beloved self. We long for that more than anything, whether or not we realize it. But there is this illusion of separation. And so it will show up again and again. Oh, I don't fit in with these people. Oh, I don't even belong here. I don't have a place. I don't have a community. I don't even feel like I belong within myself. It's the illusion of separation. So the more we nourish the relationship with the soul, the more this illusion begins to fade. And I'm not saying this because it sounds nice. I'm saying it because it's teachings that I've heard, but more because it's what I've experienced in my life. The more time I have spent nourishing and cultivating this beautiful relationship with my soul. All of these ways that I used to feel not good enough, judgmental of myself, that I didn't belong. All of these things have started to dissolve, have started to fade. And sometimes, healing is like an onion sometimes, right? Like these layers that get peeled back. So sometimes I'll find another layer where, wow, I really feel separate again. And I really feel like the black sheep or whatever it is. And then I peel that layer. And once again, I feel this greater oneness with all of life. So let's just remember that part of the beauty of cultivating this relationship with the soul is that we don't have to fix all of these things that we call problems or issues. They naturally start to harmonize within our being. They naturally start to dissolve without us having to fix every so called problem or issue. There's this beautiful harmony that happens. And the last thing I'll say on that is something that Saima said years ago that sometimes I still have a hard time wrapping my mind around because it can't come from the intellect. And that's you can't heal the illusion. You can't heal the Maya. And I'm just going to leave that as food for thought. We're not going to go into that one today. So I invite you to close the eyes if you wish. We're going to take a little journey of the soul. Hmm. I'll think about that request, Anami, and what that looks like. So, with the eyes closed, just start to breathe more deeply and consciously. We're going to go on a little journey that some of you have been on before, a little story called The Little Soul in the Sun. So, in this place where souls gather, and you don't need to take this literally, just think of it as a sweet story to give our minds something to understand. We are in this place where all the souls gather when they're not in a human form. And there's this sweet soul, so bright and full of life. And this soul goes to God, or however you wish to label this source energy, and says, God, I really want to know what it feels like to forgive. And God says, well, little son, to know what it feels like to forgive, you need to have someone to forgive. So if you can find another soul who will help you with this, you can go to earth and have this experience. And so the little soul is so thrilled and starts to go out into this place where all of the souls are to find someone, to find another soul to help with this desire to be able to forgive. And the little soul comes across another soul and says, oh, would you be the one to help me experience forgiveness? Oh, no, little soul. No, 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 not me. The little soul continues, comes across another soul. Excuse me, would you be the one to help me experience forgiveness? Oh, I could never do that. No, not me. And the little soul continues and finds another soul. Would you be the one to help me experience forgiveness? Oh, no, little soul, I could never do that to you. I can't. And so on and on, this little soul is going from soul to soul. Would you be the one to help me experience forgiveness? No, no, no. And then finally, the little soul comes across another soul and says, excuse me, would you be the one to help me experience forgiveness? And the other soul said, oh, little soul, I love you so much that I will be the one to help you experience forgiveness. But remember, when we are on earth and we are playing our roles, you won't remember that it's me, the one who loves you so much, that has given you a reason to forgive. Our souls make soul contracts with other souls to have experiences in this earth plane. But part of the experience of being human is forgetfulness. We don't remember. We don't remember who we are. We don't remember where we've come from. And we don't remember the contracts we've made with others. Soul contracts. Soul contracts to be the one who hurts someone that we love. Soul contracts to be hurt by someone that we love. Soul contracts to even hurt people we don't know, or to feel hurt by people we don't know. These contracts for the sake of whatever it truly is in the grand scheme of things: evolution, experience, healing, the releasing of karma, many different ways we could look at it. But we are all one in source, having these human experiences where we have forgotten things like the soul who has chosen to teach us forgiveness by hurting us is actually the one who loves us so dearly. So I invite you right now, take a deep breath in and out and maybe move your body a little, but keep your eyes closed, or just maybe a soft gaze if it's uncomfortable to have eyes closed. Come back to stillness and just start to speak to your soul. Even if you don't know what soul is, even if you don't have an idea, just start to speak to your soul. Oh, my dear soul, allow me to see you. Allow me to feel your presence. Sweet soul, allow me to have an experience of you. Oh, precious soul, allow me to experience that you are right here with me right now. Open my awareness, open my consciousness so that I may feel you here with no matter what I'm going through. Thank you, sweet soul, for allowing me to feel you, to know you in this moment. And remember, you can have this experience even if there are other feelings or thoughts present. Go beyond that. Go beyond the forgetfulness for these next few moments. Go beyond the dot for these next few moments and welcome your soul with love, with gratitude, this soul of light, of love, of life that you are, that has been with you through everything. Open your mind to have an experience of your soul. Maybe you feel the presence of this soul, of this light, or a warmth in your heart. Maybe you have a visual in your mind of your soul. Maybe you have an intuitive awareness that your soul is here and has always been here. Remember, the soul is who you are, a ray of source. You are this ray of light, this ray of presence that is always in the love of source. Take a deep breath and then slowly open the eyes and take your journal or whatever you're using to write. And with an open mind, just for a moment, imagine you're a child who's curious about life, who doesn't have the answers, who doesn't need to have the answers, who doesn't know. Be curious and write down this question at the top of your page. Why did my soul take birth? Why did my soul take birth? And then open your mind and start to write. This is not about having an answer. You may be very surprised by what you start to write, but just start to write. Answer this question. Why did my soul take birth? I'll give you just a minute or two here. Why did my soul take birth? Why did my soul take birth? I'll give you about another minute. Okay. You can come back to this. You can continue writing. It's a great exercise. Now, on a new piece of paper, write another question at the top of the page. And the question is, how does my soul wish to express itself? How does my soul wish to express itself? And on this new page, you can come back to the other one, but let's shift gears for now. So, the second question, how does my soul wish to express itself? We're going a couple minutes over today, but I'll start to wrap it up. Take another minute or two here. How does my soul, and remember, open your mind. This is not about knowing. It's not about what you think you know about your purpose or your personality or your hobbies. Open your heart, open your mind. How does my soul wish to express itself? About just about a minute, and then we're going to bring this to a close here. Right. Go ahead and start to wrap it up. Again, you can come back to this and explore some more. In a couple of words, I invite you to share in the chat. We'll start with the first question. Why did my soul take birth? Go ahead and share if you feel like it. Why did my soul take birth? Mhm. To connect with other souls, to support and appreciate all living beings, to learn to love and expand and deeply connect with all vibrations, ancestral healing, to give another soul the birthright. Um, I got chills reading all these. To experience life with all its beauty and complexity, to experience oneness, to learn how to play and love unconditionally, to be a a I don't know this word. Maybe it's a catalyst or a chrysalis, like a chrysalis for like a caterpillar. I love this of joy and laughter, to realize how infinite I am and to connect deeply, to join other souls in their journey, to find joy in the suffering, to learn how to heal and help others heal. Catalyst. Thanks. Thanks, love. To carry the soul's gifts to others, to heal and help others. Oh, I think I just read that one. Yes. To expand, to learn from my past mistakes. Beautiful. So beautiful, friends. How does that feel? Valerie, I was seeing your comment earlier about feeling kind of like things keep repeating. You're always welcome to reach out to me uh, in a DM. And also, first of all, I really feel for what you might be going through, what you must be feeling inside. I know sometimes how it feels to be caught in a cycle where there's just suffering, suffering, suffering. And the mind always puts a story on it. Often, though, although sometimes there is karmic healing happening or karmic completion happening, or we're just going through one of those cycles, because we go through cycles as human beings of pain, joy, pleasure. It's just kind of these, like this natural cycle that occurs. Oftentimes, though, when we feel that way, it's because we are unaware that we are caught in certain patterns and beliefs that are literally recreating similar scenarios again and again. And there are so many powerful talks and so many wonderful teachers that speak on this. Even something simple like my talk here on the app, Your Powerful Mind, starts to really help us see how we are creating so much, or our experience of life is through our perception. So I would invite that, although I don't know what is happening in your world or what the inner workings are of this experience happening for you again and again of pain, that maybe there is some relief for you inside of the work of becoming more aware of the patterns, beliefs, and conditioning that are recreating certain life circumstances. And again, you're welcome to reach out to me about that. And there's so much available here on the app, so much. Maybe you just want to look up patterns or changing the brain or relief from suffering. I mean, there are just endless talks and different pieces of content that can serve you in this. And sometimes we're looking for the outside world to get better, not realizing the first thing that needs to shift is our internal perception. Well, that's redundant, but our perception. Yes, what's happening inside. So much, so much compassion to you with where you're at in your journey right now. And please feel free to reach out to us, reach out to me, come and be part of our group on the app, Love Heals All. It's such a loving community to lean on for support or to be reminded of certain things or just to have shared resources. There's so much available in that group. Love Heals All. Okay. So we're going to move on to the second question before we complete. I'm just reading some of your comments in response to my last question there. Mhm. Mhm. So, see that. So, our second question: how does your soul wish to express itself in this life, in the world, in a body? Go ahead and share in the chat. How does your soul wish to express itself in the world? And I see we have, it wishes to be loved. And I would say that that is a desire. That's a desire, right? A desire is something we want to have inside of us, right? An expression is something that comes from within us being expressed. And I won't go into that teaching today, but I invite you to consider that. And maybe for us also to consider that the soul is love itself. So we can very compassionately ask ourselves, who is the one wishing to be loved? If the soul is love itself, who is the one wishing to be loved? Who feels disconnected from love? And maybe there isn't a disconnect for you. Maybe you feel fully connected to that love and you just wish to experience more of it. I'm not here to say I know exactly what your experience is. Just food for thought for all of us. Oh, okay, great. So we have how does your soul wish to express itself? Like that yellow light, a sunshine, a ray of hope to others. Ah, yes. Through love, gentleness, kindness to myself and all other vibrations. Loving kindness, to experience joy, experiencing life through the sensations of the physiological body. So I hear in that, I hear to experience joy, The soul is wishing to express joy. Yes, that is an expression. Yes, yes, yes. Um, Beautiful. So I'm seeing a lot of what you're wanting to experience, my friends. What are you wanting to express? Can you kind of feel the difference with me here? An expression is kind of like allowing that light to shine out. Yes, allowing the sun that you are to shine out. So how does the soul wish to express itself in this life, in this world? Through empathy. Mm, telling that things, good or bad, are transient and this too shall pass. Beautiful. So it's kind of like an expression of love or comfort, joy, love, happiness. Mm. Joyfulness and laughter, childlike. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful, beautiful, friends. Dance, sing, drum, hug, love, grieve, explore. So many ways. Playing music, dance, singing, acts of kindness, curiosity, compassion, and spontaneity. Remind others of compassion. So that's being an embodiment of compassion, right? Expressing compassion into the world. Ah, beautiful. Expressing love. Beautiful. Writing and art. Beautiful. So this is wonderful, my friends. I invite you to continue exploring this with your soul. So many of us, and you can ask yourself right now, no need to drop it in the chat, but just ask yourself, how much am I doing or engaging in the ways that the soul wishes to express itself? And how much time am I spending scrolling on social media or checking out online or watching a movie or even something that might seem like not a big deal, like reading books about things? How much am I doing things that are distracting me rather than being this vessel of embodying the soul, expressing the soul into life? Ah, beautiful. So come back to this again and again, my friends, again and again. Keep exploring this beautiful relationship with your soul, and maybe even choose today, if you wish, as we close our session now. What are you going to do today or tomorrow or sometime this week to allow your soul to express itself? What is one thing you could do in the next few days to allow the soul to express itself? Maybe even write that down for yourself. Beautiful. Okay. This is the completion for our time today. I don't think I had anything else. We really went over. Thanks for everyone who stayed longer today. Uh, our next session together is on Friday, yoga asana session. That's happening at 3 p.m. Eastern. And keep your eyes open for a new track that will probably come out tomorrow or this weekend. Affirmations for forgiveness. And thank you. Thank you. In the oneness of the love that we are. These every comfort, every peace, every love, every joy you could ever want or need is all right inside of you. It's always been here, just waiting like a treasure chest within your own heart, just waiting for you. Oh, my love. Oh, my love. I love you.